Joining us now is Mark Patrick. He is a hypnotist. And I did make sure before we brought him on, you cannot hypnotize me over the phone. Is that correct, Mark?
Well, I actually can, but I didn't want to let you know that.
Oh, maybe you did already let me know that, and I don't remember. Anyway, so thanks for coming on the program. We appreciate it. And if the name sounds familiar, it's because Mark is coming to town. He's had some ads on the station here about the seminar that you do, and one is for smoking cessation and one is for weight loss. And I was kind of interested in how this works. I've seen some hypnotist before years ago, and so I'm kind of curious how the process works. But first, I want to let folks know if you are interested in attending and you want to quit smoking, we'll do this one first. First caller right now, 240-9962, will get a free pass in for the smoking cessation seminar, and that one is at 8 p.m. on Thursday at the Crown Plaza here in Asheville. So first caller gets into the smoking cessation class at 240-9962 or 1-800-570-WWNC. So, Mark, let me ask you first off, how did you get started in the field of hypnotism?
Well, I think I was involved in health and fitness long before I ever got involved in hypnosis.
Okay.
When I was 7 years old, my grandmother was diagnosed with diabetes, and actually very quickly afterwards she had both of her legs amputated. So I was always intrigued by how something like that could happen. So it's been something I've done my whole life, helping people when it comes to things like that. I've been doing this for 17 years. I've been certified for that period of time, and then we developed our own extremely unique techniques that nobody that I know is using right now currently.
This isn't a new concept to basically train your mind, right? To train the mind to break habits.
Oh, everybody. There's so many misconceptions on hypnosis. Our biggest misconception is what you see on TV or in a stage hypnosis show where you see people barking, clucking, out of control, doing silly things. Here's how simple hypnosis is. We go into hypnosis every single day of our life. Every time you drive in your car for a long distance and you zone out and you don't remember the last 30, 40, 50 miles, you go into a state of hypnosis called highway hypnosis. When you read, and all of a sudden you're on a page or you're reading a chapter, and halfway through you say to yourself, I have no idea what I was just reading.
All the
you
time.
actually went into a light state of hypnosis.
Huh.
When you go to bed at night, there's a state of consciousness you go into called an alpha state right before you fall asleep. That's classified as a state of hypnosis. So if you want to know how it feels, that's kind of how it feels. It's a wonderful, relaxed state of awareness.
All right, and so you said you started off with an interest in health issues and helping people deal with health issues, and that led you to this hypnosis route. Was that? I guess I'm curious. How did you decide this is the key? This is the way forward.
Actually, I didn't decide. It was a friend of mine who actually got involved in doing hypnosis, and then he told me about it, and I went and got certified, and he said this would be something you would love to do. I love traveling, and I love working with people all the time, and you never get tired of the success you see in this thing. When somebody emails you or calls and says that they stopped smoking after smoking for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, or loses weight after being on so many different diets, it's a cool experience. It really is.
Yeah, and I got to admit, the time I saw hypnosis in person was college. Some hypnotist came to the college campus, did a show, and did pretty much what you were talking about, the clucking of, guy walking around thinks he's a chicken, that sort of thing. And I guess I always wondered, is that a put on? Is that really happening? Do you know?
Here's the key thing with stage hypnosis is there's a certain percentage of people that you've probably heard may or may not be able to be hypnotized. Mm-hmm. For stage hypnosis, it comes down to this. You'll work a large room of people, maybe 100, 200 people. Out of that, you'll find 5 or 10 people that want to follow instructions and suggestions, and they will go into stage hypnosis where they will do things, but they want to do that. So they are ready, willing, and able. One of the things you can't do under hypnosis, and most people know this, you can't make somebody do something they don't want to consciously do.
Right. The guy did say that.
Let me talk about smoking for a second, if you would love to talk about that. Smokers will tell you this. They love to smoke even though they know it's killing them. Mm-hmm. You see these commercials on TV where they have people as crazy as it sounds, half dead with coughing, lungs. To me, those commercials do nothing for smokers other than stress them out and make them want to smoke even more. So here's what we do. Every smoker, as crazy as this sounds, they were hypnotized to smoke. Long before they ever picked up their first cigarette, there was a series of events that took place in their life that gave them pleasure towards smoking. So what we're going to do during the hypnosis session is this. Is we're going to put them in a relaxed state, and we're going to take them back in all the scenes that they smoke right now. Cup of coffee in the morning, break at work, driving, stressful situation, a cocktail, if they have a cocktail and they smoke. And then we're going to put them back in those scenes under hypnosis, and they're going to see themselves as a non-smoker. And when we bring them out of hypnosis, they're going to act like other non-smokers. Non-smokers go around smokers. They tolerate it. They could drink if that's what they choose to do and not want to smoke. They could have their cup of coffee. And we're going to put that image back in their mind, and we're going to take out that pleasure association that they have, which is actually perceived pleasure, and then put back in this what they already know consciously. It's a filthy, disgusting habit that's killing them dead. But we keep it all positive.
Well, it's interesting you use that filthy, disgusting habit, because I smoked for 17 years almost. And when I quit many times, especially when I finally did end up quitting, it took a couple times. But that was one of the things I kept saying to myself. I would use it as a form, I don't know, a mantra or something, but a way to train the brain, as a way for me to say, this is a filthy, disgusting habit. I don't want to do it anymore. Every time I wanted one, that's what I would say. And it was amazing how it works, but also how amazing you get hooked into sort of the ritual of the smoking. It's the act itself and the things you associate with it. And so, I'd walk out the door, and the very first thing I would do is pat my pockets, looking for the pack of cigarettes, just unconsciously doing it.
Absolutely. Those are all triggers, and we're going to work on all those scenes and triggers during the hypnosis session. The craziest thing is this. The number one way to stop smoking is a heart attack. The number two most effective clinically studied way to stop smoking is hypnosis. And I'm not saying that to kind of get anybody stressed out. I'm just saying hypnosis flat out works. Everybody who has come to a hypnosis session already knows somebody who stopped using it. So that's a no-brainer.
So, yeah, I would imagine the referrals that you get once somebody does it and it works, that person becomes sort of a lead generator as a referral, because
it does. Yeah, we do get a lot of people saying, when are you coming back? And we always come back to markets sometimes 2-3 times a year, as much as we can get back.
Sure.
Imagine this: if you walk out of our seminar, and now you feel great. You have all pleasure association towards becoming and remaining a non-smoker. Everything pleasure that gives you real pleasure in your life. You're in control around other smokers. You could do all the activities, and you have an image now of yourself as a non-smoker. Mm-hmm. And you will act and attract those habits and behaviors of a non-smoker automatically, which means you don't need any willpower.
So this is, I remember a long time ago I was in high school, and I had a teacher, an English teacher, and she quit smoking using hypnosis. This was 1991, 92 time frame. And so what you're explaining is a different approach, it sounds like, because the one she explained was, as I remember it, was that there was an association built in with, think of the worst smell you can think of, and then it became an association every time she smelled cigarette smoke. It smelled like cat urine to her.
Well, let me explain exactly what that's a technique, and we do use that technique. It's called aversion therapy.
Okay.
Aversion therapy is where you associate something incredibly repulsive to the act of pleasure in your life. So with smoking, you might associate, I don't want to get into the full details of it, something really nasty towards the cigarette, or actually maybe chewing on the cigarette itself, and the paper unraveling in your mouth, and the tobacco, going to the roof of your mouth, touching your tongue, and the taste of that is very repulsive.
Oh, yeah.
We found, after doing this for I told you I would hypnotize you on the phone. We found about 25 to 35% of our audience needs that and responds to it. Mm-hmm. In other words, during hypnosis, they taste that actual feeling. They respond to it. They get almost to the point of being sick.
Yeah.
The other 60-65% don't respond to it, don't need it. We just focus on those pleasure associations and painting that picture in their mind of themselves as a non-smoker.
Yeah.
So we do use that technique. I've been trained by some of the best back in the day, 20 years ago, that was the technique everybody used. And yeah,
so there are different approaches in the entire seminar. In this way, you cover whatever triggers people need.
Exactly.
Gotcha. So so is this, when people talk about power of suggestion, is that what this is essentially?
Your mind responds to images and emotions, not logic. Logically, we shouldn't smoke, but images and emotions all tied to that, it responds to.
Huh.
And it doesn't know the difference between reality or fantasy, or consciously.
Do people in your private life, like a doctor always gets asked for free medical advice? Does your family and friends, do they ask you, hey, could you break me of a habit real quick or something like that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we get questions on that all the time.
You go to the family reunion, they're like, hey, Mark, can you come over here? I got this habit I need you to break me up real fast. All right, so that's the smoking. That's the smoking side. Is there anything else on the smoking side you want to hit before we go over to the weight loss?
Here's I always suggest the number one thing everybody has in common who comes to the programs, and they say, what is it to be successful? Come with it's okay to be curious or even a little bit skeptical, but come with an open mind and come with this attitude. You know what? I've been smoking a long time. I want to get this thing licked. I want to stop smoking. And this thing is going to help me. I'm going to put my best foot forward. That's it. Just come with a willingness to want to stop smoking, and we'll take care of the rest.
All right, so weight loss then. Is it essentially the same? So this is the weight loss seminar is a different time. This is the earlier seminar. It's at 5:30, and again, this is all on Thursday. Both of these seminars occur on Thursday. They each run about 2 hours. So from 5:30 to 7:30 is the weight loss one, and then 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. is going to be the stop smoking portion. Thursday, Asheville Crown Plaza, and 5:30 is the weight loss seminar. So explain then, is it sort of the same mechanics with food that you approach like with cigarettes?
A little different. Here's the thing that works with weight loss. If you, I don't want to get, again, too crazy technical, but when we peel away all our conscious layers, deep down inside, we all have what's called an image or a identity of ourselves. And whatever that identity is, it was shaped for us when we were growing up. We reinforce this identity with our self-talk. So if we're going out there and saying this, I hate exercise, I'm not motivated, I'm a couch potato, I'm lazy, I'm a carboholic, I'm a sugar junkie, or any of those, here's what happens. Now we decide to go on a diet with all the best intentions, conscious effort, and what happens is we go on that diet and we end up losing maybe a little bit of weight, but we always gain all the weight back and go back to the old habits and behaviors and patterns. And we sit there and scratch our head and say, why did that happen? Here's why. As crazy as this may sound, one of the strongest human traits that you and I have is to be consistent with our own image of ourselves or identity of ourselves, even if it kills us. Look at drug addicts. You get people who are addicted to drugs. They go into rehab, best intentions, get out. They're clean physically, but what happens? How many times we hear the stories they get out of a clinic and they're back on drugs within 6 months, not because of willpower, not because they didn't want to, because their image of themselves is a drug user. So what we're going to do under hypnosis is this. This is a little different than the smoking. We're going to have them see themselves 6 months from now under hypnosis as a slimmer, healthier person who's eating better, who's maybe walking more. Whatever it is, we're going to have them paint that image of themselves and actually almost feel it as if they were a really real-life experience of themselves at that weight. Then here's what happens after we bring them out of hypnosis. Next thing they know, let's say they're going out in a buffet, and normally in the past they would overeat. Next thing you know, they're choosing healthier food choices. They're filling up quickly. They notice themselves maybe drinking more water. And basically what I'm getting at is they'll find themselves doing these behaviors automatically and not even being aware of some of those behaviors. And next thing you know, the weight starts coming off. Yeah,
it really is a matter of breaking a habit, but also believing that the new habits you adopt are part of you. And I quit drinking sodas probably, 15 years ago, and it wasn't even anything kind of a conscious thing. But now I don't consider myself to be a soda drinker. I just don't. And I have no desire.
Your mantra, like you said that, you nailed it. Your self-talk, people don't realize it. That's hypnosis. That's self-hypnosis. Whatever you tell yourself, your subconscious takes all information literally. Well, I don't tell myself it. I think it. That's still a form of hypnosis. So we're going to teach some of that stuff during the program. We're also going to go through a couple of hormones that get out of sync for people when it comes to weight loss as they get into their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. So, I mean, we've got a great program. We get people losing 40, 50, 60, 80, 90 pounds. I mean, my best client lost 110 pounds in 4.5 months in this thing. Just from that, and adopting then behaviors that he then associates with himself. Exactly. Yeah. Their images. I've studied this thing forever, especially when it comes to weight. And there's a 5% of people who we all know just lose weight and keep it off, and then there's 95% who gain it back. We studied with our clients and other people that I know that are very well respected in this industry, and we studied the successful behaviors of the 5%ers. And we teach some of that stuff in our seminars as much as we possibly can. But the key thing is we use hypnosis as a tool so that they find themselves wanting to do these things. Yeah. By the way, Jason in Southwest Asheville, he says he's going to stop smoking with you, Mark Patrick, 8 o'clock tomorrow at the Crowne Plaza. That's when the event is. The first one, 5:30, weight loss. 8 o'clock is to stop smoking, and it's at the Crowne Plaza. MarkPatrickSeminars.com is the website. We will now take the first caller at 240-9962. We'll give him a free pass to your weight loss session, the weight loss seminar, 5:30 tomorrow. Is there anything else, Mark, you want to add here that you think is important or interesting folks should know before we let you go? No, I think we've covered everything. Absolutely. All right. MarkPatrickSeminars.com is the website. Again, it's all tomorrow at the Crowne Plaza, and the first weight loss session, 5:30. The stop smoking one at 8 p.m. It is $49.99, by the way, if you don't win the tickets here. But good luck to those calling in. Mark Patrick, best of luck on the seminar. We appreciate you making some time for us today. Thanks for having me on. Sure. Take care.